welcome back to another episode of our Habits of the Top 1%. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I know that I have, and learned some great things in that. And there's all kinds of things that go into what makes you a 1%er, what makes you a top producer, what separates you from the crowd. John Maxwell will say, what separates you from the pile, right? So how do you distinguish yourself? Elijah asked me to step in today and asked me what I thought would be a habit of the top 1%. And, the word that came to my mind was consistency. Tell you a story, and I'm sure that we're familiar with this story. It's a children's story, and it's about a train that was trying to get up a hill, right? The little engine that could. And he kept saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, until he finally made it to the top of the hill. And when we tell that story, yes, that may be a children's story, but there's a good lesson in that. And typically when we think of that story, we think of, believing in yourself, right? Not giving up. And all those things really revolve around consistency. Getting up and having a routine, a schedule of what you're going to do, having a workout routine in the morning, or a Bible study in the morning, or listen to something inspirational. You feed your mind, you feed your soul. There's a lot of different things you can do. With that being said, consistency, I believe, is a vital key to be in the top 1%, to be that top producer. When we think about real estate in general, or whatever your profession may be, it's how do you stay consistent in what you need to do on a daily basis? Do you make your contacts that you need to be making? Do you talk to the people you need to be talking with? Do you follow up with the clients that you said you're going to follow up with? How many times have you reached out to a professional and whatever it may be, and they said, yeah, we'll get you that email right over, or we'll send you that in a text message, or we'll call you on this day at this time to confirm everything, and you never hear back? Or it's 3 days later and you're getting the, hey, I apologize for the delay, right? And I'm guilty of that. We're all guilty of that at some point in time, and I'm not casting stones by any means, because I know that's an area that I can improve in as much as anybody. I'm speaking to myself as well. But how many times have we experienced that? The consistency of doing what we say we're going to do, the consistency of keeping a schedule, the consistency of producing at a high level every day. It all goes to zero at midnight, right? Everything restarts the next day. Just because we had a good yesterday doesn't mean we're going to have a good today. And vice versa, just because we had a bad today doesn't mean we're going to have a bad tomorrow. Consistency. Habit of the top 1%, the little engine that could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Daily putting into a schedule and making sure that schedule is focused on what is going to be the most production for you, right? What is the highest level of return that you can put your time into? The Pareto principle tells us that 80% of the work gets done by 20% of the people, right? So that means that 20% of a profession is doing 80% of the work. So if you look at real estate, then nationwide, 20% of the agents nationwide are going to be doing 80% of the closed transactions. So that's the Pareto principle, but that also applies to your consistency and where you need to be spending your time. You need to be spending 80% of your time on what's going to give you the highest return. So only 20% of what you're going to be doing is going to be giving you a return. You need to be spending your time there and being consistent in that and knowing what those are. And that's why we play into our strengths. So consistency is a habit of the top 1%. And how can you and I become more consistent in what we're doing? Can we write out a schedule? Can we reflect on what we do each day and write out what we did in a time block and see where we're spending our time and maybe make those corrections? Can we hold ourselves accountable to doing something 3 times this week, maybe 4 times next week, 5 times, and continue to grow that consistency end over end, whatever area that may be in? Again, this is a habit of the top 1%. This is something that's going to help you go to that next level, and it's something that I struggle with myself, and I would be lying to you if I didn't say otherwise, because it's just an area that I struggle in. Walls, routine, structure, it's hard for me to handle, and I've got to get better at building that up. I'm coming at you from a standpoint of experiencing what it feels like to not have it and be around people that do have it and see the difference in where I'm at to where they're at. And what is that difference? The consistency of sticking to a schedule and doing what you say you're going to do and holding yourself accountable to that. So I hope this helps you. This is hopefully a beneficial episode for you. Again, here at Elevate, if we can do anything for you, please let us know. 931-283-2312. Thank you.